So hello guys, good evening again. This is the continuation of our previous video, which is the paginator or the pagination that we created. So this is what we in our last video. We created the data. We created the class paginator. This one. Yes, this is what we created. And then we have the page with the index.php, and we successfully created the pages, which is 20 because we have 200 rows at the moment in our example data. And then each page has 10 rows. So for example, in page 1 we have 10 rows, and then if you want to move to the second page, and we have another 10 rows, and so on. So what are we gonna do in this video is to add, or in this paginator is to add a previous and next link in the pages. And also we're gonna create, or we're gonna add the ellipsis type of pagination. So we're gonna add ellipses on this so that it will handle, so that in our paginator will handle large of pages or large data, like for example 5,000 rows, and it's easy to handle for that, and it will not create a multiple or many rows in one page like this. So before that, we're gonna create first the what do we call this one, the next and previous button. So we're gonna create a variable, let's say next li. I'm gonna set this to empty, and then we're gonna so here we're gonna display only the next and previous page if the pages, or if the calculated pages is greater than 1. So we're gonna add, if pages is greater than 1, then we're gonna show the next and pages. So what it should be look like this, guys. So we're gonna create, let's say li, we're gonna copy this one, all right, and then we're gonna place it here, and then we're gonna, let's say this is next, so basically this would be next, maybe just next, and then of course I'm just going to remove this one at the moment, and then we have the previous, same one, we're just gonna replace this one. Okay, and then we're just gonna append this li here. So we're gonna call ul dot, and then next, or this would be the preview li. Copy that one, and we just append this the next. Okay, so we're gonna transfer it here. This one would be next. So without the functionality, we'll just check if it's showing correctly. So as you can see, we have previous and next link in our pagination. So what are we gonna do now is, if we click next, it will move, or it will add value to the current page. Okay, so that's, and then if we're going to click preview, it will gonna, it's just like a minus and plus. So in our case here so if our previous value, let's say I mean if the pages, or if the pages like this, or page, I mean page is the current page that being selected. So if it's less than or equal to 1, then we're gonna do first the, what do we call this, we're gonna do first the previous link, and then else. So if less than to 1, I'm gonna show the previous link but without a link, or just the text. So I'm gonna remove this one. So meaning if you are in the page 1, so you don't need to click, or it's not necessary to have a link in the previous text because you are in the current page. Unless if you are in the page 2, then you can click previous to move to page 1. So something like that. So that's how the previous what do we call this, link works. So for example, this page is minus 1, and then we just need to copy this one. We remove the link. If you notice, there's no link here because if you are in the current page, and then if you are here in the not in the current page, or if it's greater than 1, so basically you need the previous link. So previous minus and then this one. So if you're gonna refresh this one, as you can see, I am in the page 2. So here we have our link previous is enabled. So if you click this one, it will move to page 1 since we set variable to. Alright, good night. And then we set to 1. So if I'm gonna click this one, it will move to page 1. But as you can see, we have problem here because we forgot to add the page value. So if move back and then refresh, and then if I'm gonna click the previous page, you will notice we have the page here. So 1 second, guys, my son is calling me. He's going to sleep. Alright guys, I'm back. My son is calling me. He said that he's going to sleep right now. So go back with our tutorial. Here, when we click previews, and then of course we need to minus the value of the current page. So go back here, if we are in page 2, and then if we click previews, then we minus it to 1. So basically this page is minus 1, this will become 1. Okay, see that? So if I'm going to move it to 5, and then I'm going to click previews, move to 4, previews, move to 3, move to 2, and then the last part would be 1. What do you think would be happen? So basically, if I'm in the page 1, this previous or previous link will not be clickable. All right, we're going to remove the link tag. So as you can see that it's just a text, meaning it's disabled, meaning you are in page 1. Okay, so that's the previous. And then we're going to add the, what do we call this one, the previous link. So in our case, in our previous link, so we just need to check if the page is greater than equal to the pages. Okay, that one, and we have the else. So if greater than the pages, greater than or equal, meaning the pages is the total of the page. So if you are in the last page or greater than the total pages that we calculated, then we will disable the next link. Okay, if not, then we can simply same with this, but we just make it plus. So page is equal to this page plus 1. Okay, and then we just copy this one. We're gonna create first a link, right? And then next, and then we concatenated the page. Okay, and then the value of the page. So since it's next, so we're going to increment the value. So if it's 2 and then the user click next, it will move to page 3. So something like that. But if you are in the last, if the value of the page, of the current page is greater than or equal to the number of pages calculated above, meaning you are in the last page or you are next to the last page. Or for example, if the last page is 20, then if the user just edit the page and then set it 21, then automatically the next link will be disabled, something. So we put this kind of text without the link. So we're gonna test it now. Refresh, and then I'm here in the page 1. I can click the previous button since I'm here in the page 1. So I'm going to click next. It will move to page 2, and then page previous will become clickable since I'm here in page 2. See that? So I can move back, move previous, next, previous, next. So I'm going to last page for the previous. If you will notice 19, if I'm going to click this one again, so it will become 20. So it will be set to page 20. So basically the next link will be disabled, or we are going to remove the next or the link tag. So we will just pass this text if it's last page. So I'm going to click this one. Basically you can click the next page because the program detect that you are in the last page because of this calculation or this if statement. If the current page, so if maybe we will just create current page is equal to page, something like that, because that is the current page. I mean the current page selected. Okay, so it's much clearer to read compared to just page. So if the current page is less than or equal to 1 and so on, then it will execute the page. Okay, so as you notice, it really works. Previous and the next. Okay, so last page disabled, that's correct. Here page 1 disabled, that's correct. Okay, so now we created already the next and what do we call this one, the next and the previous link. So it's not that hard, guys, right? So we have previous and next. Now we are going to what do we call, we're going to add the ellipses now in our pagination, the dot. So in my case, I wanted to show only 10 pages. So, right? We have 10, so it looks gonna be looks like this, guys. Let's say for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and then we have dot, and then 20, something like that. And then we have our next, and then we have our previous. So I'm gonna work on that. Now, if I am in page 7, something, so the result would be, let's say I am in the page 1. So now if I am in this 7, the result would be dot, something like that. So the number 2 is hidden and so on. So we're gonna work on that right now. So what are we gonna do first? first you need to, what do we call this one? You need to declare the number of pages that you want to display. So number to show pages would be, maybe we'll set this first to 10. Okay, and then of course to get this is not 7, this 1, this would be 7. So to get the center of the number, you need to divide the number of pages to show to 2 to get the half number to show. So like for example, number to show is divided by 2, something like that. But that will return a decimal something, no? That will be something that it will return decimal. So we need to round the value. Okay, we need to round the value just to get the whole number. Okay, so here in our case, we're gonna check if the current page is less than or equal to the half number to show plus 1. Okay, else, so basically in our case, if the current page is less than or equal to what do we call this one, equal to half number to show. So if it's 10, that's our calculator, 10 what do we go? Divide 2, that would be 5, plus 1, that would be 6. Okay, so we need to set the start to 1. In our case here, our start is always to 1 and our end is always the number of pages. That's why in our result here, we start to 1, then we end up with 20. It depends the value of data, but in our case now, since we are customizing the pagination, so basically we will not always start to 1. It could be 2 or it could be 3, 4, and so on, and it will end up like, it will not also end up with 20, right? So we're gonna put static 20 and 1 later. You are gonna see that. So the start and the end will be customized. It depends on the selected pages, right? So here we're gonna, instead of number, so instead of number, number 1, we're gonna change it to start, and this one we're gonna change this to end, something like that. Okay, so n will be if the value is less than equal to half plus 6. So let's say if the current page is 1, selected page is 1, is the current page, which is 1, is less than to the half of the number to show plus 1, yes or no? So if it yes, then we set the start 1, or the start is equal to 1 and the end to no show. So something like that. Okay, so if I'm gonna, what do we call this one, I'm gonna refresh this one, let's check, it will start with 1, and you will notice, guys, that 11 to 20 is hidden because our end, or our start and end, it depends on the value or the current page and the if statement that we set above. Okay, so something like that. But still, you can next previews, but the only thing is, if the value of current page is not less than to the half, so if our not to show is 10 divided by 2, that would be 5 plus 1, that would be 6. So if the value of the current page is less than or equal to 6, So if it's 7, meaning it's not less than, so it will proceed here in our else statement. So in our else statement, we're gonna declare our start, and then we're gonna calculate if the current page minus half plus 1. Okay, and then we have end current page number to show. Okay, and then minus to have to show plus 1. Okay, and then of course, so that's our value now. Let's check to previews. 4, 5, 6, 7. So see that the value becomes pointed to 7. Okay, but it's still not right, as you can see. Right, so we are near. So else, the start would be equivalent to current page minus the half number. So if the page is 7 minus half number to show, which is 6, 5 plus 1. So for example, if we are in the 7 page, minus 5, which is this one, 2 plus 1, that would be 3. That's why in our case, if we are in, let's say for example 6, and then if it's 7, then it will move to else statement. Now the start will become, based on our calculation, will become 3. So that would be the start. So if I'm going to move next, it should be 3 here. So it's correct, right? And then our last page or end page is the current page, which is 7, plus the no show minus, or the, I'm gonna calculate that one. So number of show is 10. So we have 10 minus number to show plus 1, that would be 6, is equal to 4. So the current page is 7, so minus 4, that would be, no, not minus, that would be plus. Okay, that would be plus here. So that would be 11. So that would be the value of our end value. And then this would, the start would be 3. Okay. And then we need another one here. Next. Okay. So you notice, guys, even if I will move to next, the value of the last value will become 24, which is not correct, because our max page calculated based in our data is just 20. So we need an override of else statement here. So if end here is greater than equal to pages, so meaning if the value of n, the calculated n above, is equal to the pages, then we will set the start pages minus number to show plus 1. And then our case, our end for pages is equal to pages. So something like that. Okay. Refresh that one. See that if I'm going to remove this one, it will create a additional pages number. So we're going to calculate that one. If our end pages is equal to 20, the value of the current pages that we calculated based in our data, then we need to override and we need to set the value of start is equivalent to page minus number to show, which is 10 plus 1. So if the pages is 20, I mean the current, the total pages, then minus number to show, and then plus 1. So in our case, our pages is 20, so we're gonna calculate that one. So it's 20 because we have 200 rows, and then we divide it by 10. So minus number to show, what is the value of number to show? Number of pages, this is the number of pages to show, guys. So we limit the number of pages to show. And then this is 20 minus 10. Okay, that would be 10 plus 1, that would be 11. So basically, the start would be 11, not 16. But since earlier we did not put this, so the result is wrong. It is 16. So that should be 11, and then the number of pages, that would be 20. So if I'm going to refresh this one, it will correct. You see that? 11, and then the last number would be 20. And of course, the next page is no longer clickable since we remove earlier I discussed regarding the next and previous, right? So if you are in the last page, meaning we disabled the next. If you are in the first page, we disabled the previous link. Okay, of course. So now we're gonna add the ellipsis or the dot thing. So here we're gonna current page, if it's greater than to no start, minus start, I think it's that one. So if the current page is 7, it's greater than the number to show 10 minus the start above, if what the value of start here. So we're gonna create the links. Okay, so here, or we're gonna create the link and then the value. So we're gonna just copy this one. Okay, and then put it here. We're gonna default the value 1. We're gonna put 1 here, and then after the 1, we're gonna put ellipsis or the dot thing. Okay, this one. We call that ellipsis. You just research that one. Okay, and then okay, so let's refresh. Forgot to concatenate, so we need to concatenate here. All right, one is missing. Oh, I forgot to concatenate that here. See that? So even if I'm in what they call 19, I can jump to 1, and then if I'm in 1, so basically it will not show the ellipsis and the number 1. So see that? Next, and then if I am in 7, this will automatically executed. So if the current page is 7, we're gonna calculate 7, and the number of show is, this is 10 minus start, what's the start value? It depends on the calculation here above. So if it's greater than or equal, basically it will calculate the value of f statement. So if I'm in the 7, it will inserted the 1 and the dot dot dot, or we call that ellipsis. Okay, next would be the last part, which is adding the 20. Okay, so in our 20 here, we're gonna add a f statement if the end value is less than 2 pages plus 1. No, it's minus 1. Minus 1, we're gonna copy this one. Okay. And then, of course, we're gonna place this one above. This one, it depends the value of the pages, not 1. So we're gonna put the number of pages then. So since the 4 pages is 20, the total number of pages is 20, because we have 200 rows, divided by 10, that would be 20. So that would be the value here. And then also here. So move, next, 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 next. Alright, but it's not concatenated, so we're gonna add this one. Links. 1 second, it is next. Maybe I'm gonna try this one. Oops, the value is wrong. Okay. Pages, and here we have, we're gonna place this 1 second, else statement. Maybe next is concatenated here, and then here. Right, maybe we're gonna replace this to link links 2, so that it will not conflict to the alright, link 2 UL, we have 19. Our one is correct, but the problem is concatenated, so this would be wrong. I think I can reuse the variable links. Okay, right. So if I'm 1 in 1, so the ellipsis, the left side will be hidden. If I'm in the 7 greater than current 7, it will show up. So since I'm 4, 5, 6, show the first ellipsis, that's correct. And then if I'm in equal to the page, or the current page is 20, this one will be, it should be hidden. Next, 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 next. I'm in 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oops, as you can see, guys, the result is wrong. Why there is 1? I think because I use same value above, so maybe I'm gonna change this one. Maybe, yeah, that's correct. Link 2. It's up to you what variable you're gonna use. So for now, I'm gonna use a simple variable to 1 and 14. All right, it's working. Oops. The 20 is gone when I'm in the page 15. Maybe I will just remove, maybe I will limit the page to 19 minus 1. So here, page, because I'm not in this area, so this would be minus 1. So this would become 19. So if I'm 15, all right, 20 is missing, and then I will just add the 20 here. I will just add it statically, like here in page 1. So in my case, the number of pages, okay, and then maybe number of pages, what's the number of pages? Let's check. Okay, so number of pages 20, and then we have here, but that's correct. So it's working correctly now. So if I'm page 1, move to page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then move to 7, it will show the ellipses. And then the page 1, and then move, you should see it's showing. Okay, so if in 16, that should be, yeah, 14, and then gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you can see, the total number of pages to show is 10. That's correct, because we set that here 10 only. The count 1, 2, 3, 4 without this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, that's correct. Pages is 90, and then move to 20. That's correct. Only missing is page 20 is not selected. So here, pages, we can just simply, if the pages is equal to the current page, then basically we're gonna put bracket and then page. If not, then we can just simply put page, something like that. Refresh. There you go. So we have bracket now. 20, but it's wrong. Maybe not page. Maybe we'll custom number label. Let's use above, so we can use it also here, because so you can see the link below is wrong. We have included the bracket, so it should not. Refresh. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. That's correct. All right, so it's working now. Move. As you can see, the pages will automatically adjust itself. So if I'm 1, move next, show ellipsis 1. Very good, it's showing. And then we have next, and then 20. Okay, so going back here and create links, Yeah, we added the next and previous link first, and then we customize the display, which will control the value or the number of pages that we are going to display. If we like to display just 10, then it should be only 10, and I can change this value to, for example, 7. I can use it 7. So same concept. So the display is 7, next, and then if it's 5 or 6, that it will show first. Same thing. So it's adjustable. And then we set, if we are in the current page and it's less than or equal to the half value of the no show plus 1, then we just simply set the start to 1, and then the end would be no to number to show. So if I'm in a page 1, then it should display just like that. Okay, and for this one, and for the ellipsis and 20, it's located here. If the value is, if the end is less than, and our end right now is 10, so is 10 is less than 2 pages minus 1, so the pages is 20 minus 1, that would be 19. It is less than, yes. So it shows the ellipsis and the number page 20. That's why we got this link, this one. Okay, so but if it's not less than, if it's equal, then we just simply display, remove this one, and then display the number 20. So if I'm going to move, so it should be just like this. So that is how the pagination functionality works. So in our first video, we created the sample data and so on, and now we customize the pagination. Now in this pagination, you can use this one to your project if you like. You can extend, you can edit this one if you like. I'm gonna put the description of GitHub below this video, so that you can download and you can ask some comments if you like. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching, guys.